the latest version of the world's best-selling electric vehicle is to be sold in New Zealand. Japanese manufacturer Nissan has announced plans to sell the Leaf EV in 7 markets in Asia and Oceania during the next fiscal year, including New Zealand and Australia. The Leaf is the world's most popular EV, with more than 300,000 of them sold globally since the first-generation model first went on sale in 2010. It is the icon of what Nissan calls intelligent mobility, which is the company's approach to changing how cars are powered, driven and integrated into society. An announcement that the new second generation will be launched in Australia, Hong Kong, Malaysia, New Zealand, Singapore, South Korea and Thailand was made at an event called Nissan Futures, a gathering in Singapore of industry leaders, government officials and media from across Asia and Oceania. Nissan's regional senior vice president Yutaka Sanada said the company is working to bring the new generation Leaf to as many markets as possible. He said, "The new Leaf is the most advanced, yet accessible 100% electric vehicle on the planet." The launch in so many markets shows our commitment to playing a leading role in electrification in this dynamic region, and to delivering the future of mobility to the region now. Arrival of the new Leaf, and it has yet to be confirmed when that will happen and what prices might be, will represent a second attempt to sell the Nissan as a new vehicle in New Zealand. Nissan NZ pulled the plug on the first-generation version in early 2016 when it failed to sell, primarily because of its high purchase price, even though it had eventually been offered for just under $40,000. However, good sales of used Leafs imported from Japan and the UK, they typically sell for around $20,000, have made the model the most popular EV in this country. The second-generation model was launched during the second half of last year, and deliveries begin in Japan in October, followed by USA and Canada in January and Europe this month. The car's new electric powertrain delivers 110 kilowatts of power and 320 Nm of torque, and a major improvement is that whereas the first-generation version had a range of up to 130 km on a single charge, the new model has a range of up to 400 km depending on the size of the battery pack. Meanwhile, the Nissan Futures event has been told that latest research has shown 1 in 3 Southeast Asian consumers planning to buy a new car are open to purchasing an electric vehicle. With the right incentives, the region can accelerate adoption of electric and electrified vehicles, the Nissan Commission study by market intelligence firm Frost & Sullivan has shown. The study results also show that contrary to common perception, cost is not considered a deterrent to purchase of an EV. In fact, customers surveyed were willing to pay more to own an electric vehicle. However, the study also shows that lower costs would prompt more people to consider electric cars. 3/4 of respondents said they were ready to switch to electric vehicles if taxes were waived. Other incentives that would sway customers include installation of charging stations in apartment buildings, 70%, priority lanes for electric vehicles, 56%, and free parking, 53%.
Pricing and specifications for the 2018 Subaru Outback range have been announced this week, with the faultlifted crossover wagon kicking off at $36,240 before on-road costs. Although subtle, the car has been treated to a new look for 2018, led by a revised grille and bumper up front. Train spotters will notice the tweaked wing mirrors and LED indicators too. The entire range rides on new alloy wheels, 17 inches on the 2.0D, 18-inch units across the rest of the range, and there are 2 new colors available, Crimson Red Pearl and Wilderness Green Metallic. Premium variants now come with new LED high and low beam headlights, complete with adaptive high beam and steering response, allowing them to swivel as the driver turns the wheel. C-shaped LED daytime running lights carry over from the current car. Inside, the Outback benefits from a reworked center stack housing and updated infotainment system. The touchscreen, 8.0-inch for premium cars, 6.5 inches elsewhere, now packs Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, while the climate controls have been more logically arranged. Factory navigation is standard on premium models. Making the jump from base CVT trim to premium also brings electrically adjustable and front seats, an electric sunroof, power folding mirrors, keyless entry, leather trim and piano black trim inserts, along with a powder tailgate. Along with these changes, the range-topping 3.6R also gains chrome side sill garnish, silver roof rails and a 12-speaker sound system. More stitched surfaces and gloss black trim have been added to help lift the interior ambience, while Subaru says the new steering wheel has a solid, sporty look about it. Rear seat passengers now benefit from 2 additional USB ports. Subaru has been proactive with safety recently, outfitting all CVT-equipped cars with its EyeSight technology suite. For 2018, the premium variants will also include a front view monitor and Honda-style side view monitor, making it easier to see the nose and sides of the car below 20 km/h. Across the range, EyeSight has been upgraded to include lane keep assist, pre-collision braking assistance and smarter pedestrian avoidance capabilities. The stereo camera-based system has also been tuned to deliver a smoother ride while using adaptive cruise control. The changes are more than skin deep too. Subaru says retuned suspension will help cut down on body roll, while the electric power steering has been tweaked for more linear response at highway speeds. The brake pedal should feel firmer and more linear for the 2018 model as well. Speaking of linearity, the Lineartronic CVT paired with a 2.5-liter petrol engine benefits from a number of small updates. There are now 7 artificial steps for drivers to play with, and Subaru says the transmission should shift more smoothly from park into reverse and drive. There's no more power in the 129 kilowatts per 235 Nm 2.5-liter petrol, but a lighter crank pulley, crankshaft and connecting rods should reduce vibration under acceleration, and a broader ratio spread from the CVT helps deliver a 3% fuel efficiency bump. Meanwhile, the 3.6-liter 6-cylinder boxer petrol makes the same 191 kilowatts of power and 350 Nm of torque as before, while the diesel's 110 kilowatts per 350 Nm outputs are also unchanged. Unlike the 2.5, neither the 3.6 or diesel engines come with idle start-stop technology.
The 2018 Nissan Leaf isn't yet available in Norway, but demand there is already through the roof. Norwegian media is reporting that Nissan of Norway has recorded some 4,000 pre-orders for the 2018 Leaf ahead of its launch. Globally, there are now over 40,000 new Leaf orders waiting to be filled. The Nissan Leaf never exceeded a level of 716 sales during a single month in Norway. High water mark was set in October 2013, but with exceptionally high demand for the next generation model, that single-month mark of 716 could fall soon. From September 2011 through December 2017, some 22,781 Leafs were sold in Norway, with more than 10,000 used imported added to that. The new Leaf should rebound its market share among BEVs in Norway. However, the golden era of more than 90% of all electric cars sales belonging to the Leaf will never return.
Some early buyers of Tesla's electric semi-freight truck will collaborate with the automaker to build their own charging stations, according to a new report. Anheuser-Busch, PepsiCo, and United Parcel Service will build private charging stations on their own sites, Reuters reported Friday, in partnerships with Tesla whose terms are still being negotiated. Though details are still scarce, the arrangements seem to make imminent sense from Tesla's perspective. The Semi, announced in November of last year, will have different charging needs than Tesla's cars, both in terms of power and space. That means the company needs a new, parallel charging network to service them. But it's facing down a cash crunch, making this a bad time to commit to a nationwide or even regional network build-out. But many of the Semi's early adopters are short-haul operators, and told Reuters they will use the Semi to deliver loads along shorter, likely relatively fixed routes. That makes the commitment to building their own infrastructure sensible, especially since some of the companies also said they might consider opening the facilities to other users in the future. That could make these private stations anchors in the network of megachargers Tesla will need to build to make its truck viable for smaller customers and over longer distances. Tesla has said Semi deliveries will begin in late 2019.